To this week's weekly weight loss vlog. First week of January 2025. Completed it, mate. Well, first full week of January 2025. Yes, all done and dusted. And it was a pretty decent week. Sometimes it can be really hard getting back into the swing of things after a couple of weeks of overindulgence. But obviously, I talked about this last week. Oh, by the way, so I'll do some dates. Let's do some dates. The dates that we're discussing, this is the 6th of January to the 12th of January. It's currently Monday, the 13th of January. So, last week's weekly weight loss vlog, I was quite ill. New Year's Eve, I was sort of saying New Year's Eve, New Year's Day week. Which certainly helped with controlling the old appetite for that week. And you know what? That didn't really change last week. I think it just kind of gave me a really good phase return. So yeah, last week, it was a good week. What happened last week, really? Let's have a summary. No, not a lot. One thing that did happen last week, I got over my blooming sickness bug. And then on Monday, my foot started to cramp up mid-afternoon. So I've been to the gym, done a few bits and pieces, and it was just after lunch my foot started to cramp up. A couple of hours later, I couldn't walk on it. I couldn't put any weight on it. It was so painful. Now, I've had this happen before. I think the last time was about 2-3 years ago, but it was nothing compared to what this was. And basically, I've got quite poor circulation in my left leg, left foot. I broke it when I was 18 playing football. Broke tib, fib, and dislocated my ankle. Had to have an operation, had it sort of all put back together, had a plate in there. Since then, my circulation's never been great in that leg. And I think what I'd done, I don't know any technical terms for this, but on the Sunday, it snowed like mad. I went out walking in my Converse high-top trainers in the snow. They got absolutely soaked. And I put them on Monday, not even thinking about it. And I think I just got cold kind of into my foot, and my foot just cramped up, which, you know, coldness adds to the lack of circulation. And yeah, agony. So my steps Monday, Tuesday were great. Wednesday morning, right as rain. So I had a sore foot for the first 2 days of last year. First 2 days of last week. The first, or the 6th and 7th day of this year. Yeah, it was flipping painful, if I'm going to be honest with you. But I didn't let it affect my eating. In fact, again, a bit of appetite suppression from it. It kind of took away my appetite rather than making me kind of emotionally eat, as it were. So maybe that was a bonus for the old eating. Anyway, that was Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was just standard normal week, as it were, working. Really, really busy. Getting back into the routine of working and everything after Christmas. And then weekend, we just had a really nice weekend. My wife's cousin and her fella come up with the kids, and we went to the beach, took the dogs, had a chippy tea, which I'll talk about soon. And yeah, that was my week. As boring as they come, and just as I like it. I love boring weeks in January and February and March, to be honest with you. Boring weeks means great weight loss weeks. Well, it certainly does to me. Anyway, there we go. Right. One thing I did do last week was I checked in. Yes, I jumped on the scales. This was my first official check-in of 2025. So I did a post-Christmas weight on the 2nd of January, and I gained 9.2 pounds after Christmas, which I was all right with. Anyway, I jumped on the scales on Friday, which really is just 7-8 days after kind of restarting. So it is technically half a check-in, and 6.8 of those post-Christmas pounds gone for good. So just 2.4 pounds up from Christmas. So basically I flushed out all my extra water weight, food weight, water retention, gone in 7 or 8 days. What's left there, 2.4 pounds, I'd say is body fat. I'm feeling pretty flat. I'm not feeling very bloated at the moment. So I'd say what's left over is the body fat I gained over Christmas. So my mission now is to get rid of that 2.4 pounds. And I'd like to do that, if I can, by next Friday, week on Friday, which is, what's the week on Friday? Is it like the 24th or something? 25th? No, am I way off there? 20th, 21, 22. I think it is. I think it's the 24th. In fact, I don't know why I'm not just putting it into my progress sheet that you can see now will show this because I'm editing it as I'm doing it. Yes, that'll be so 24th. So if I can get down to pre-Christmas weight or even a bit below pre-Christmas weight by the 24th of January, I will be absolutely buzzing. What's my mission with these check-ins this year? Because last year I started the weekly weight loss vlog this time last January, and I felt like I went quite scale focused, and that's because I was trying to show you guys, you know, pre-holiday, post-holiday, pre-Christmas, post-Christmas, and I felt like I was getting a little bit, not obsessive with the scales, but I was jumping on them quite a lot. And that's another thing I'm trying to show you guys is you don't need to be jumping on the scales left, right, and centre when you're on a weight loss journey. So it's about a bit of balance. Anyway, this year is going to be a much quieter year in terms of breaks away, holidays and things like that. I think it's, you know, we'll still get away 2 or 3 times. I've got a 50th at the end of April, beginning of May that I'm going to go on. Me and Rachel, we're taking our niece to Benidorm in June. We also want to do Tenerife. We're just going to do a couple of nice, simple Spain holidays this year. But with my holidays, I do want to be a little bit more calorie conscious with them. I'll never track calories on holiday, but I did go a little bit raj last year with the old holidays. And when I do go on holiday, I'm like, I don't care about calories. And I always have that philosophy. And I had it at Christmas. But over Christmas, I was a little bit more conscious of what I was eating than maybe in previous Christmases. Although I gained a little bit more weight than I did last year, I felt I was a little bit more conscious, and I've lost my weight quite a bit quicker than I did last year after Christmas. But yeah, with holidays, I can go a little bit crazy with them. I'm not saying I won't, because that's what holidays are all about, but I sort of found really documenting my journey, doing these weight loss vlogs, I sort of noticed that, you know, going on holiday, I was sort of regressing a little bit for a few weeks, rather than really, it should be like Christmas where, yeah, I get back from holiday, I see a bump on the scales, but a week or 2 later, it's all gone. And it was probably taking me a bit longer than that. So that's sort of something I'm going to be kind of looking at a little bit. How are we going to combat that on holiday? Well, the holidays we're going to do this year, the one in June, and we're looking at going to Tenerife October, November time. We're going to get apartments instead of staying in hotels. Because whenever we stay in a hotel, we always go bed and breakfast anyway. And I do like going in a hotel because I can't be bothered, you know, making my own bed. And it's like meant to be a total break. But I know that sounds like a first world problem. But, you know, I do like the fact that you come back from the pool and all your bed's made up and your room's cleaned. And that's part of a holiday, isn't it? Because that's not something you do on a day-to-day basis. Anyway, we're going to get apartments. Because when we get apartments, we can have a bit of breakfast at home, or we might have a little bit of tea before we go out in the evening or something like that. And it does help being a little bit more conscientious or conscious of what you're eating. Anyway, that's further down the line. I'm waffling now. Anyway, that's my progress sheet. Let's get some eating up. I'm going to do that on my phone, actually, because I've saved everything. I've got a bit ahead of the game this week and saved all my calories and all that jazz. So here we go. This is my calories for my first full week back at it in 2020. In fact, I need my phone stand. I took my phone stand that I use here, spinning on Saturday. I was back spinning on Saturday again. I'll talk about that shortly. Did I put it back in my bag, or did I leave it in the spin? No, I put it back in my bag. Right. Here's my phone stand, just so it's easier to read off my phone. Right, so calories last week, absolutely smashed it. Probably the lowest amount of calories I've eaten for a long time. I might have said this once last year, but I don't know if I went this deep under my ideal deficit. I might have done. Anyway, I'm back eating 2,600 calories a day on average. Trying to do 2,001, 2,200 Monday to Friday, no more than 2,200 Monday to Friday on average, and then that banks me some calories going into the weekend, and then obviously a higher calorie weekend. So 1,830 calories on Monday, 2,099 Tuesday, 2,129 Wednesday, 2,159 Thursday, and 2,307, a little bit more on Friday, but I had that freedom on Friday because I'd really done well Monday to Thursday. I banked about 2,500 calories going into the weekend. And obviously, when I'm not drinking or anything like that, got no events on, I like extra calories at the weekend, but I don't need loads of extra calories at the weekend. So I had 3,600 calories on Saturday, which is pretty much my maintenance. And then I had 3,200 calories yesterday, and I'm pretty much I'm still in a deficit yesterday. Even though I've gone over my daily average, I burn about 3,400 calories a day, so I'm about 200 calories under. So yeah, calories last week, really, really good. No hunger at all last week, which can be an issue for me sometimes. It can be especially after Christmas, those old hunger pangs kick in and you're fighting them. None of that last week. So really, 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 really good week. And yeah, saved a lot of 814 calories under my ideal deficit. So I was in nearly a 6,000 calorie deficit last week from Monday to Sunday. So although I was 2.4 pounds still up on, I think that's a good deficit. And if I can do the same, get no pressure. I'm not desperately trying to do the same. I'm happy if I eat all my calories, I just stick to my ideal deficit. But if I have a week this week like I had last week, then going into next check-in, all that pre-Christmas, post-Christmas weight, should be gone. Right, as in with the new format. I'm meant to be writing down. Right, I didn't do this last week, and it does make it harder for editing the videos. Right, so we're going into movement. I know everything's pre-11 minutes, so we're going into movement at, well, it might not be quite 11 minutes on here, but that's where we're at the moment. Steps we are at, as you can see there, a little bit up and down. Like I say, Monday, Tuesday, I had a really bad foot, so my steps were a little bit lower. In fact, I can get my actual steps up because I'm on my phone. Because I don't record on my phone anymore. I've got a new little vlogging camera thing, so I can actually get real-time steps up. So Monday, I did 7,683 steps, but I'd actually done 7,500 steps up to my foot cramping up. So Monday, my steps were decent. We're all right, even though from about 2 o'clock, I didn't move. Tuesday, my foot was sore, but I could weight bear on it. I didn't go to the gym or anything, but I did actually get up. I did a couple of dog walks. So again, my steps not terrible. Wednesday, my foot was back to normal. I'm really ramped it up. I did 10,500 steps on Wednesday. Thursday, I did 15,340 steps, but that's because I did 45 minutes. I did some good cardio on the cross trainer. Friday, 10,400 steps. Saturday, 13,000 because we did a nice hour walk on the beach, and I also went to the gym. And I went to the gym yesterday, so I did 11,000 steps yesterday. So movement in terms of steps, even though I had those kind of lower days Monday, Tuesday because my foot was being a bit of a prat, still averaged 11,081 over the week. So well chuffed with that. Let's have a little look at exercise. Gym. So I didn't go Tuesday because of my foot. Gym, weights. I did 4 weight sessions last week. I actually went yesterday, did a cheeky weight session. Again, making the most of a dry January. I was like, and a mate of mine asked if he could come to the gym or if he wanted to go to the gym and train. So I normally train on my own. Anyway, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I did a mix of cardio and weight. So I did cross trainer and weight. Thursday, just did cross trainer. Sunday, really good. 1 hour, very intense weight session. Really good session. And then, of course, I was back spinning on Saturday morning. And really good spin class. Put the effort in. Average heart rate, 160 beats per minute. Active calories, 659. Did I burn 659 calories? No. Very optimistic on the old Apple Watch when it comes to calories. But saying that, for me to do 659 calories in 40 minutes. Yesterday I did an hour of weights and I did 668 calories in an hour of weights. So for my watch to show 659 in 40 minutes of exercise, that shows how intense a spin class is. So move steps and exercise last week, absolutely top tier. Right, let's get into some eating. As always, I sort of do this as a top 5. I've got a bit of ahead of the game. I've sorted it all out. I'm not quite decided on my top 5. I'm having a little scan through now. Right, I'm going to go in with this one at number 5, and this is my homemade egg fried rice, healthy salt and pepper chicken, and a couple of veggie gyozas. We have this all the time, and I've shown how I've tracked it at the bottom in a way. I actually have my egg fried rice and curry sauce. I make it the same every time. I literally use, to bulk it out, This makes 2 portions, all right? So I use a mushroom stir fry from Aldi. So it's got mushrooms and loads of veggies in there. So I whack that in with some extra onion and spring onion. I then use the Aldi Blue packet microwave steam long grain rice. I microwave it for a minute, then whack that in there. I have shown how I make my egg fried rice on YouTube if you want to go and have a look. Couple of eggs, some MSG, some soy sauce, loads of different flavours, bit of sesame oil, and then some goldfish curry sauce. And my egg fried rice per portion with curry sauce is 418 calories. And I just have it saved for ease of tracking. Then I did my healthy salt and pepper chicken, which is just chicken breast, mini fillets, little drizzle of oil in there. And then I just added some salt and pepper seasoning, right, which I don't track because it's literally 10 calories for the amount I use. And then a couple of party gyozas just for a bit of crunch and a bit of extra. So that whole plate there, 721 calories. Salt and pepper chicken, egg fried rice, Chinese curry sauce, a couple of gyozas. Absolutely delicious. That is number 5. Number 4 was this. I did like a bit of a twister wrap dupe from KFC. This was Thursday night's tea. Now, the calories I've tracked there does not include that splurge to the right. That splurge to the right is a little bit of lighter mayonnaise and a little bit of Tommy ketchup for dipping my chips in. I did track that, but I tracked it separately because I just wanted to show the calories for the chips and the wrap. And there is mayonnaise on the wrap as well. So I got a standard tortilla wrap, some southern fried salt and pepper chicken from Aldi, and then a light cheese slice, some rabbit food, and I put some gherkins on there and a bit of light mayonnaise and made the wrap, and then made some air fried chips. If you follow my smash burger recipe on YouTube, it tells you in that recipe how I make my air fried chips. So I might do it in a separate video because they're absolutely banging. So that was 827 calories. It was a big portion, that one. And then the light mayo and ketchup on the side was about another 60 calories. So in total, it's about 900 calories on that plate. So that was number 3. What are we doing, Neil, as number... that was number 4. So the Chinese was 5. The wrap was 4. What are we going to do as number 5? I do know I'm going to do this one as number 3. I always... I actually put this on my Instagram yesterday. Just fancied like an ice cream sundae, a nice bit of dessert. Anyway, I've used 100 calories worth of the Lidl chocolate high protein, low calorie ice cream, 100 calories worth of the peanut butter one. That's a bit more calorific, so you get slightly less volume. Some light squirty cream, crumbled up some Biscoff biscuit on there for a bit of crunch, and then added some of the Drizzlicious rice cakes that are on TikTok. And that whole bowl, 303 calories. That's a full bowl of ice cream, like dessert. It was absolutely sensational. Really, really good. Number 2. What we're going to do is number 2. I don't know. Number 2. Right, it's got to be this. I think I showed it. I might have showed this last week. I made a beef stew last Sunday, and we had this, I think, either Wednesday or Thursday night. Just left over in the fridge. So easy to make. Honestly, so easy to make. Oh, I've not got the calories for this. It's the one I've not flipping found the calories for because I needed to adjust it. Anyway, let me go into my app and I'll find out when I add it, and I'll tell you what the calories are. Here we go. 800 calories for that. 800 calories. So what I've got there is got half a pack of Idahoan mashed potato. I've got some of my leftover beef stew. I've got a beef dripping Yorkshire pudding from Aldi, some mushy peas and some carrots. 800 calories. And what a bowl of food that is for 800 calories. Full of fibre, good amount of protein, loads of volume. Love it. I could eat, honestly, I say this all the time, I could eat teas like that every single night. I really, really could. And last but by no means least, one of my favourite takeaways is a chippy tea. I'm as northern as they come. Good chippy tea. I just get fish chips and peas, dead standard. And a lot of people, when they go to, like, say, an independent chippy, they struggle how to track the food. And I've done this to show it. And I love it. And that was sensational. It was so good. And I got a load of... I literally can get fish chips and peas all in one tray. chips, loads of peas. He whacked a load of peas on top. And then the fish could have been possibly a little bit bigger, but it is what it is. My local chippy is sensational. And I just tracked that as I just used a medium portion of fish and chips on Nutracheck for 1,153 calories and a large portion of mushy peas. That's it. That's it. Every now and then, we're going to track food or eat food where we can't see the exact calories of it, like an independent takeaway like my local chippy. That should be no more than once or twice a week. No more than once or twice a week, all right? That should be the absolute limit. And if you are having to track calories, you need to change the way you're eating a little bit. Because when we are tracking stuff like that, we do have to guesstimate a little bit. Now, those fish and chips could have been 1,100 calories. It could have been 1,500 calories. But if I'm only tracking, that's the only meal I've had to guesstimate this week. So if I'm only eating once a week, I've got to guesstimate. If I'm over guesstimating, no issues whatsoever, right? I'm just in a bigger deficit. If I'm under guesstimating, yes, that's going to affect accuracy, but 150, 200 calories here and there, you should never be a million miles out. You might just be a little bit under. Again, in all honesty, that is not going to cause any major issues around the overall accuracy of your week. If you're guesstimating every day what you're eating, like you're eating at your work canteen, and then you're going 1 day a week, 2 days a week to an independent pub for either lunch or tea, then you're getting a takeaway once a week. Yes, that could. If you're 250 calories out and you're guesstimating 4 or 5 times a week, that's over 1,000. That could be over 1,000. It could be more. Like I say, you could be guesstimating under. But I don't want to say damage limitation. Once a week. I aim for once a week where I don't know, I've got to guesstimate a little bit. Twice at the most. Once a week, twice at the most. And that's how I track my fish and chips. Just medium portion. I don't need large chips. I don't need large fish. I'm a big guy, but standard fish, chips and peas. Bang. There we go. So that was the top 5 things that I ate this week. And I absolutely love fish and chips. It's that and pizza sort of always vie for my 2 favourite takeaways. Now I've had that, I'm craving a takeaway pizza. Next time I have a takeaway pizza, I'll be craving fish and chips. I love all takeaways. I'm not a fussy chap about food, trust me. But anyway, there we go. Right, that's it for this week. Oh, excuse me, windy pops. That's movement, my eating, my calories, my top 5 things that I've eaten this week. Fish and chips, always going to be number 1 if they're on the menu during the week. And it's good to be back at it. The big thing about last week was it's great to be, I felt properly in that routine. Work, food, exercise, and I feel great. I feel absolutely, but compared to how I felt, and I don't get me wrong, last Monday, I'm coming out of a sickness bug and so on and so forth, but I'm feeling top of the world today. I'm going to go to the gym now. I'm feeling absolutely top of the world. What's coming up this week? Nothing really. Again, not many major plans. Nice, boring week. Groundhog week, as I was calling them last week. I am hopefully getting a guy coming to start doing my conversion for my new office. So, I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know when I'm going to get it decorated. But I would say, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, certainly by February, so we're only talking another 2, maybe 3 weeks, when I'm doing the weight loss vlogs, I'm going to be in a new office area at the back of the house. And I can't wait. It's going to be a bit more peaceful. I'm not going to have my boiler next to me. I don't know if you can hear it, where it's kicking in all the time, or the dogs barking. I mean, they might be barking. There might be other dogs barking outside and stuff like that. But I feel it's just going to be a little bit more professional, and hopefully I'll be able to take my content up a notch, up a level. Fingers crossed. We'll see. We'll see where we get to. So that's going on this week. So I'm going to be burning some extra calories because I've got to clear it. It's like a dumping ground at the moment. So I've got to clear everything out, move everything, put it all into storage, ready for them coming. Boring week, no plans this weekend apart from having a catch up with some friends that we've not seen before Christmas. I'm going to go out for a spot of Sunday lunch, so I'll take a picture of that, and I'll if it's good, it might make my top 5, and if it makes my top 5, I'll tell you how I track a Sunday lunch, because we will be going to an independent pub. Anyway, right, that's me. I'm waffling now. Let's get out of here. Hope you've had a great week last week. Thanks for tuning in. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. Remember, I've got a brilliant January offer on at the moment. If you've made it this far in the video, check the description for that January offer. I'll put all the details in there. And until I see you next time on whatever format you are watching me on, make sure you boss your weight loss.